The other day, I was thinking about the state of things, and the analogy of the battery came into mind. Yes, a battery. Humans have been turned into batteries. Their energy is being drained for the amusement of someone, right? You see, we all have a certain amount of energy, and you have to be wise on what you're gonna spend it. Family is probably a good bet, right? But nobody cares about family lately, do they? They are busy with something else. From cradle to grave, their imagination has been captured, so they can become the amusement of the elites. You see, that horrible film, which is horrible. The story is very lame. If you block the music and the martial arts, the visuals and all that stuff, the CGI, if you block it, it's a pretty lame story. But it's accurate, the analogy at least. What they call the pinnacle of human civilization is when they achieved 100% control over the masses, and they have successfully turned everybody into a battery. They have successfully captured your imagination and they manipulate you like marionettes. Everybody is at their fingertips. They have successfully turned everybody away from the spiritual. They turned everybody away and focused their attention on the material, the lowest of the lowest. Every now and then, civilization goes to the extreme, to the nihilism, to the point that they forget what's important and they even stop reproducing. That's the state, the end stage of consumerism and nihilism and atheism and all those things. Atheism is the denial of any supernatural substrate. It's not about God or whatever. No, it's the denial of the supernatural, any metaphysical substrate. From cradle to grave. I never understood the obsession over material things, and most people, it's almost like a status for them. You got to have this, that, and the other to be a person. I'm like, these are just superficial things. You are not paying attention to the most important, which is the light that everybody has within. Yes. Do not judge people by their appearances or their possessions or by what they say. You gotta, pay attention to what they do, and you gotta pay attention to what's inside. What's inside, and they have all been fooled. They have all been bamboozled. They've all been turned into a battery, and their energy is regularly drained to the amusement of the elites, I would say. You godless buffoons, I will give you idols for you to worship. These golden idols, which are the material things, which is, they've successfully pulled everybody away from the spiritual, from the heaven within, and had them focus on the images, in the wall, the images. If that's the correct analogy. I haven't read Plato's Doctrine of Ideas. I haven't read it yet, but I came across many quotes. I might be mistaken, but everybody's so distracted, and their energy is being drained so efficiently. By the time they reach 40 years old, they're done. They're done. It's over. They put all their faith in institutions. They put all their faith in banks and governments. I wouldn't, because those things are here today and tomorrow they might not be there. Countries, for instance, I can't remember right now, but there's a central country in Asia. It's around the center in those desert areas. The population, was working and everybody got their retirement plan. Everything was, going up to schedule. And then there's a change in the regime. And the government says there's no more money to pay retirements. And everybody lost everything. So do not put your faith in these institutions. Similarly, another case, this is very close to me. Someone got retired and they chose, according to the law, they chose a place to retire away from the origin place they were living. And they kept the payments, the retirement payments, until one day the government changed and decided whoever is living abroad is going to have his pay cut in half. So you worked all your life, 40, 50 years, I don't know. And then some greedy government, some narcissistic bullshit comes along and they cut everything in half. You shouldn't put your faith in these things. These are not real. People ought to put faith in family, but they have been bamboozled by this artificial system created for the amusement of the elites, to the point that you are being physically and mentally abused, to the point that you even forget to reproduce. You see the world as being this evil, which you are. It is evil, and some people just can't see it. They can't see that they are being played, bamboozled. This is happening worldwide. But of course, there are elements that people, peoples, groups, tribes that resist. And the ones who resist are Agent Smith. They are the Agent Smith. Agent Smith is actually the good guy in the whole story. He's the rebellious one. He wants to escape this, while the so called chosen one, he wants to perpetuate the dream. He wants to perpetuate everything, you know. So, analogically speaking, Agent Smith is those around the world that refuse to play this game. They rather be unalived than to be enslaved. Rather to become, perish than to become a battery for the amusement of the elites. Here is a golden idol for you to worship, you godless buffoon. They are laughing and they are pulling fast ones because they control the system, so they are always putting fast ones in front of the eyes of everybody. They are behind the scenes controlling everything. Anyway, I was thinking, in terms of the family structure, how do they manage to destroy it? Of course, the schooling system has a lot to do with it. Everybody that goes through that, they are going through a lobotomy, learning useless things, recreating useless neurologic paths that just turn you, they teach you one plus one, ABC, and then go into the world and pay taxes. They don't teach you anything. They don't teach you, how to be master of your own destiny. No. One of the psyops, for instance, that they use to destroy is the romantic love, like Titanic or Romeo and Juliet or Cinderella or what. Those stories have been twisted. I think the originals actually, the woman got rejected when she abandoned the ocean. Is that Cinderella, the one who was a mermaid, who abandoned the ocean, and she got legs, which hurt a lot because it was an experience she was having the first time. Every time she walked, it was like she was walking on nails or something, or broken glass. And when she finally reached the party where the prince was, after so many sacrifices and pain, the prince rejected her and she left the party in shame. That's a moral story that you should not follow or hope for impossible things. You should be happy with what you get. That's the moral of the story. But they twisted the story around that you could be the princess. Not everybody can be the princess, no, or the prince. You should be thankful for what you get. What they did was capture your imagination. You are the main character. You can do it. So you have millions and millions of people that think they are the main character and think they are all going to achieve. Meanwhile, your energy is being sucked. You are in a maze and they are sucking your energy, manipulating you like a puppet. Romantic love is temporary and it's like 2, 3 years. So everybody who gets together because of romance, because of the butterflies, 2, 3 years later, they don't feel butterflies anymore, and they think the purpose of marriage is over. So they divorce because they have the butterflies for someone else, or they cheat or whatever. No, coming together and marrying is for the purpose of children. It is a sacrifice to perpetuate the family values. It has nothing to do with butterflies. Family is 100% involved in marriage. It's the family that chooses, so to speak, your path. And whenever you have problems with your marriage, you don't go to a counsel, you don't go to a therapist. No, you go to your family. Therapists are hardwired to take your money, you know. So you go to family for them to help. They've gone through the same experiences. And divorce doesn't exist, never existed. It's a modern thing. What they want is for you to split the family fortune many times fold until you have nothing. The reason why people find it difficult nowadays to get a house or an apartment is because the family fortune has been divided over and over again. While the elites, they still maintain, their hegemony. While everybody else, the ones who were turned into batteries, they are struggling. They are renters. Yeah, that's what they want of you. To be loose, lost, no backup from the wisdom of intergenerational family. So I think I'm gonna shut up now. I've been talking for 16 minutes already. Have a nice day.